Hi everyone, I'm David and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing a reading for the sign Virgo, and it's going to be from the period the rest of April to the first half of May. And if you're not familiar with my readings, I now pulled my first set of cards for the current energy, and then the second set of cards will be for the upcoming future. Now that I got to get started with shuffling, I will admit I was a little bit nervous about doing another reading after my last reading for Leo because I felt like it was a little bit negative, and I'm trying to avoid putting as much negative energy out there in the atmosphere. But if it comes out, I guess that's what it comes out. So I'm hoping that this reading I get a little more positivity from the cards. So let's see. I hope all you guys are doing well. So. Okay, the first set of cards that I got for your current energy, your current energy is the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and the Four of Swords. All three of these are reversed, so maybe this could be positive. Give me a second. Let's see what comes to me. So the Nine of Swords. Deep-seated fear, secrets, releasing worry, hope, reaching out. The Ten of Cups, shattered dreams, broken family, disconnection, misaligned values, struggling relationships. Four of Swords is also deep contentment, stagnation, recklessness, stress. Okay, Virgo. This sucks because I was trying to avoid having, yes, negative thoughts. I guess I'll have to go with two different thoughts that came to mind. If this is work related, maybe you're concerned that maybe there's a risk of you might be losing maybe a job, or maybe a certain dream of yours might be at risk of not being fulfilled. Or maybe if it's not a dream, maybe, I mean, a dream, but maybe like some opportunity might be at risk of being lost. If it's not like directly connected to your current job that you're working, like maybe you're stressed out, or there are certain aspects of your current career that's not going in your favor, that that's having you very concerned at this current time. Maybe there are certain things, because the Nine of Swords reverse also represents secrets, releasing worry. And the reason why I said like maybe your dream is, or some hopes or plans that you had is also at risk because the Ten of Cups in reverse, like it represents like shattered dreams. So maybe there's something that you was hoping to achieve that's at risk. Or maybe if it's not something that's directly tied to a current job or something that you're currently doing, maybe it was a goal or some plan that you've been working on that you started to put in the work to push towards that goal, and you just starting to get burnt out or exhausted from it because you're starting to realize how much work or how much energy that it would take to achieve that dream or that goal, and it's leading you also to the fourth source, which also represents exhaustion. So if it's not currently like something that you're currently doing for work, maybe it was a dream of yours that you had started to put some energy and effort behind, but you're starting to realize that it's more than what you first imagined. Man, this was kind of It's not a positive read. That was the first thought that came to mind. The second thought that came to mind, that if this could be relationship or some type of connection based energy that I'm picking up. And again, this is also negative, in which there's a chance that you might be worried that maybe your current connection might be at some type of, I guess, not in a good position, in which you might be thinking about that maybe you might have to walk away, or maybe it's coming to a close end. Like maybe it could have been a relationship or someone that you was like involved with, in which you had high hopes for, and now that you been in that relationship, things start to come up, and you start to, I guess, process thoughts that makes you think that it might not be your perfect match. And that also could have you concerned because, when you start to date someone or get to know someone, or even after you start like dating people and you are in a relationship for some time, people naturally change. Like some of their hobbies might change, or just how they show up in the world might slightly change as well. So maybe you start to notice some things that have you deep in your feelings, that makes you feel like this might not be the ideal match that you was hoping for. And there's deep contemplation whether or not you should call the relationship off. But if that's the case, it does indeed looks like it's someone that you really have high hopes for, and it's just making you feel, I guess, very hurt that you're thinking in this way now. So that's the current energy I'm picking up. Let's pull some more. Let's see if we can get some positivity for the future. Okay, now for the future, I've got the Five of Wands in reverse, the Two of Cups in reverse, and the Hermit. The Hermit. So for the future, you Virgo, what I'm picking up. Now I know. Okay, let me just have a small disclaimer. I know for some this might appear like a bad reading, because what I'm getting is, with the Five of Wands, you're sort of like maybe pulling yourself away from this conflict that's happening in your current state. So maybe you're in retreat mode, where you don't want to deal with whatever that had you like in your thoughts, in your current energy. In the future, you're going to be pulling yourself away, and it might seem like a negative thing for some, because what I'm getting, like carrying into the Two of Cups, is that you not really going to be focusing on others. You're going to be mostly focusing on yourself, which is, to me, like double confirmed by the Hermit in reverse, because um, the Hermit in reverse is representing like isolation, loneliness, withdrawal. So the future you, Virgo, I'm getting like you're more so just taking you away from whatever had you in your thoughts or in your worries up here, and you're pulling back your energy, and just like avoiding any type of conflict or anything that has you worried as of now, and mostly just focusing on yourself, and you just focusing, I guess, on what makes you happy and what are your biggest priorities at this time. I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing, because I do think there's certain like seasons that people go through, and which sometimes we have moments where we want to be around others more than, I guess, being isolated. And I do think we need like a fair balance of both. So to me, I don't fully see this as a negative thing. I actually think it's a pretty positive, not a positive, because like you don't want to be fully isolated, but sometimes it's okay to retract ourselves just to see, or just to be able, I guess, realign our thoughts and what's our biggest priorities for the, I guess, for the current period. I'm gonna pull two more cards to see if something else give the a sign of where this is ultimately leading. So the next card was Ace of Wands, and then the last card is the High Priestess, but it came in reverse. Honestly, I'm getting like this is, I guess, double confirming for me that this is gonna be a continual period of you. So after you move into your isolation period, or you go through your isolation period in the future, you is gonna allow you to, I guess, rethink what's gonna be your new priority. That's what I'm getting from the Ace of Wands. You're gonna decide like whether or not, oh no, not decide whether between things, but you're gonna contemplate while you're in your isolation period, like what's gonna be the next thing you're focusing on, or your main focus. That's what I'm getting from the Ace of Wands. And reverse High Priestess, it seemed like all these ideas that you're gonna be thinking of is you're gonna be holding, I guess, the secrets or your thoughts close to your chest, or your planning close to your chest, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I think sometimes it's important to keep certain things to ourselves until we're ready to let others know. And this is sorry, this is what I'm getting for, like, say if it's like career or goal oriented. However, if this is relationship, I think this everything could be applied, but maybe instead of like you pulling out of the relationship, you're finding ways to reevaluate like what are your primary, I guess, boundaries, or what are some of your, how can I say, what what are things that you value the most in your relationship, or what do you expect from your partner before you, like, be, before you decide to, I guess, move into the next thing. But if from this energy, if you decide to like walk away or in a relationship, it doesn't appear that you'll be moving into something fast quickly. It's mostly seem like you're just gonna be in deep thoughts, and just like re-evaluating on what you care about and what's your priorities or your must-haves. But all in all, like for me, I don't think this is a complete negative reading. I think, yes, there's a little bit of conflict or certain things that's going on in your current energy that you don't feel 100% content with, and it's going to lead you to having to decide whether or not you're going to pull yourself away from that energy. And if you do decide to pull yourself out of that in the future, it looks like you potentially will do that, and you're just gonna go through a phase where you're just gonna be all to yourself. And while you in that state of being all to yourself, you're just gonna be um, considering like what's gonna be your next primary focus, which I don't think that's a bad thing. And maybe while you are going through this time where you're isolated, you might have people think that you're being very standoffish, or you're not being very talkative on what's currently going on, because the High Priestess in reverse also represents secrets. So it don't seem like you are being very open to, I guess, some of the things that you're contemplating in the meantime. But I don't think this is a completely bad read. If this resonates with you, please let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up if you don't mind. And besides that, I will talk to you again soon.